Anime protagonists have unwavering discipline because they're focused on achieving their goals, and that's all that matters to them. If you've been struggling with developing your discipline, then this video will help you go from a lazy side character to being the locked in protagonist. By the end of this video, you will have your vision for your disciplined lifestyle, the goals you want to achieve, the man you want to become, and how to do it. First, we have to understand why you're struggling with discipline in the first place. Saitama from One Punch Man is a perfect example of someone who used to be disciplined but got complacent and now is too busy chasing random side quests to be bothered being disciplined. When Saitama first wanted to become a hero, he was disciplined and committed to his training every single day until he achieved his goal. But after doing this for so long and becoming the strongest hero, he became complacent, and throughout the entire anime, he's always late to saving people, spends more time chasing deals at the supermarket and playing video games than continuing with his training. I'm sure you can find one point in your life where you were disciplined, whether it was studying for an exam, showing up to a job you hated, or even being consistent at the gym. There was one point where you were able to draw undisciplined. But why is it that without these responsibilities and goals, we quickly fall into being complacent and losing track of being disciplined? Viktor Frankl wrote, "When a person can't find a deep sense of meaning, they distract themselves with pleasure." It's hard for us to sit alone and really think about what gives us meaning and purpose in our lives because we're surrounded by so many distractions that we can find ourselves filling up our time with useless side quests the same way Saitama does. If we don't have a meaningful goal, we can easily get pulled into playing video games with our friends, getting food, and focusing on pleasure over everything else. Which isn't to say we can't have these moments of fun when we are being disciplined too. But the problem is when these distracting side quests become how we spend our whole lives. To begin developing discipline, you have to find your main goal. What is more important than anything else in the world to you? You could say that going to the gym is your number one goal, but if you find yourself doing literally anything else, then no matter what you say, it's not your main goal. Your main goal has to be what you choose above all other distractions, all other priorities, all other impulses and desires. By having this clear main goal and putting all of your energy towards making it come true, that will help you develop not only the path towards discipline, but also the vision of what being disciplined even looks like in the first place. But before you make becoming disciplined your main quest, you have to make sure that you avoid this mistake that so many people make, which anime protagonists often don't. And that's not knowing how you want to change yourself and who you want to become. Every shonen protagonist, whether it's Hinata or Ippo, all have an insane work ethic and discipline because they have a dream that they want to come true. Hinata wants to reach nationals and see the view from the summit. Ippo wants to know what it means to be strong. These characters never wake up and think to themselves, I have to be disciplined. They just wake up every day focusing on working towards making their dreams come true. When you look online and scroll past all of these people talking about being disciplined, and then you think to yourselves that you need to be disciplined too, you're falling into the comparison trap. You shouldn't seek out to become disciplined just because you see posts from Goggins or Jocko Willink telling you that you have to do it. You need to choose to become disciplined because there is a goal that is so important to you that it's worth sacrificing all of the time that you could be wasting on useless side quests and pursuing pleasure. I define being disciplined as being committed towards one goal no matter what sacrifices you have to make. No matter the excuses that show up, the responsibilities that you have, or any other reasons that might get in the way for you to change your main priority. No matter what, you stay focused on the one path. That's what it means to be disciplined. These anime protagonists don't quit. It doesn't matter how impossible their goal is. They don't even consider it an option to give up because all they're focusing on is how to achieve their dreams. That's what makes anime protagonists so determined in the face of impossible odds. If your main quest is going to the gym, but if you find yourself too tired to want to go after work, or you find yourself being too busy, or you have other things that you want to do which you choose to do instead, then you know that that's not being disciplined. Oftentimes, we choose comfort over that hard choice because it's what we're used to. It's what we've known for our entire lives, and we constantly pick the easier way out than choosing to do what we promised we would do. Could you imagine watching Haikyuu and whenever Hinata came up towards a challenge, he just gave up because he would come up with the excuse that he was too short, that he didn't know how to play volleyball, and that the barrier in front of him was just too hard to break through? that's not why we respect these anime protagonists. They always find a way to stay committed to their goal no matter what cost it comes at, and no matter how much they have to force themselves to go through the hard thing. But before you set out to achieve an impossible goal like your favorite anime protagonist, we first have to understand how you can create discipline. Let's say that you create the goal of becoming consistent at the gym. That's already a bad goal to have because it doesn't give you a clear idea of what success and failure means. Because saying you're going to be consistent at anything leaves it up in the air. You have to be more specific. So instead of saying you're going to be consistent at the gym, say you're going to go to the gym 3 or 4 times a week for an hour each day. But if you find yourself struggling with that goal, just break it down even more. Do 2 days, 1 day, even a couple minutes. But being able to build off of that small foundation of going to the gym will help you go to the gym more consistently if that's what you want to do. You just have to start small, because if you've been struggling with discipline for a long time, it's a hard ask for yourself to go from 0 to 100 like your anime protagonist would. Instead, build yourself up. And it's way easier for you to set this up as your goal because you'll know that when the feelings of discomfort and the excuses come up, that they are just lies that you don't have to listen to, and what you have to do isn't that difficult. It's just about setting up the goal that is slightly difficult for you, that you haven't done in a while, but still easy enough for you to achieve on a consistent basis, no matter how hard life gets, no matter what excuses show up, and especially no matter how you feel, because that's what anime protagonists do. They didn't go from the beginning of being this weak noob to fighting the final boss in 2 episodes. They climbed, they grew little by little, and before they knew it, they were the strongest person in their entire world. That's what you have to do. Start small, but be able to build yourself up. If you're trying to build discipline, but you've been struggling with your impulses, whether it's watching porn, doom scrolling, overeating, smoking, drinking, I've created the Impulse Mastery Blueprint, which is a 4-step training arc, which helps you go from being unable to control yourself to becoming a disciplined anime protagonist. If you're interested, the link is down below, and if you don't like it within 30 days, I'll give you your money back, no problem. Let's be real, we all know what discipline looks like when we see it in other people. Whether it's in our favorite anime characters or people on social media, these people represent discipline because of the way that they stay committed to their goals. But in our lives, it can be hard for us to see that same desire and same energy in ourselves. All we can think about are the excuses that come up, all of the reasons that we want to give up, and all of the distractions that show up in our lives. But what we often don't see, whether it's in our favorite anime or online on social media, is all of the unseen work that goes to make someone truly strong. It's all of the work that you have to put in when no one else is watching, whether it's getting up early for a run, whether it's going to the gym after work, whether it's eating healthy when all you want to do is binge eat McDonald's or anything else. That's what it takes to become disciplined. But these are the things that we don't see in our favorite animes and other people online because it's often the unseen work. It's the boring work. It's the small wins that build up every single day that make someone become disciplined. It's all of these tiny decisions that eventually builds up to becoming a disciplined person and having a disciplined lifestyle. Because when it comes to us, we see discipline as just one thing. It's one part of our lives. But how can we expect ourselves to be disciplined if we live an undisciplined lifestyle? How can we expect to become someone disciplined who goes to the gym when we have a lifestyle that invites doom scrolling, overeating, watching porn, and having every other bad habit still exist while we also have the desire to grow and be disciplined?
What makes anime protagonists disciplined is that it's never just one area of their life where they are disciplined. It's everything. It's their entire character. It's their way of life. Once you start creating a disciplined routine in your life, you come to the point where you will have to choose. This is your anime dream sequence moment. Just like Tanjiro on the Infinity Train, when he has to choose between the comforting dream of his own life and the reality he has to face, when you start to develop discipline, things in your life will begin to change. The things that once brought you comfort and kept you safe will start to be things that keep you trapped. If you want to develop discipline, you will have to start with making small sacrifices. First, it will be your old habits. Then it will be your time.
even some relationships, and eventually it will be your old identity and way of life you will have to sacrifice. Discipline is more than just about forcing yourself to change. It's about choosing your life's purpose. So think to yourself now, in a year, who do you want to be? When you look back at the life that you live on, do you want to see yourself being some side character in another person's story? Or do you want to be that anime protagonist that you respect and admire? Do you want to pursue what is meaningful in your life, or do you want to stay complacent with all the time that you have left? These are the questions that you will have to ask yourself as you go on this journey, and my hope is that you pick the choice that gives your life the most amount of meaning, and that when you're on your deathbed, you won't regret any choice that you've made. There's no such thing as a painless lesson. They just don't exist. Sacrifices are necessary. You can't gain anything without losing something first. But if you can endure that pain and walk away from it, you'll find that you now have a heart strong enough to overcome any obstacle.